I've been using ChatGPT since the day it was launched, or day one, before the hype, before everybody and their grandma had an opinion about AI. So when people online started saying Cloud is better than ChatGPT, I ignored it. I thought it was just noise, just another wave of tech Twitter drama. But then it kept on going and going and going. So I did what any developer would, and I stopped listening to people and just tested it myself. And what I found completely changed how I use AI. Hello everyone, if you are new here, I am Abdul Hamid, a full stack developer who talks about AI, coding, startups, and building in public. Today I'm going to be completely honest with you about my experience switching from ChatGPT to Claude. What made me switch? What I actually like about Claude, what I actually use ChatGPT for, and most importantly, my personal take on the whole which AI is better trend debate that's just going on and keeps going on online. So let's get into it. To understand why this switch was a big deal for me, you need to understand my conversation history with ChatGPT. I have been using ChatGPT since it was launched, where we are talking years of conversations, thousands of prompts, asking it everything from my debugging to helping me think about business ideas. So we go a way long back with ChatGPT. So ChatGPT knows me, not in a creepy way, but in a this tool has context on how I think, what I build, and what kind of answers works for me kind of way. So the history is valuable. You don't just throw that away because some new shiny tool appeared out of nowhere. But here's the thing, the more I use ChatGPT for complex works, writing scripts, doing research, working through technical problems, the more I started to feel like I was just getting generic answers. Good answers, but generic. I started noticing that my outputs required more editing, more back and forth, more prompting just to get something that felt it came from a thinking person, not a polished autocomplete. And then the cloud hype started. So everywhere, people were just talking about how ChatGPT is bad and Claude is the now good go to AI. People were canceling their ChatGPT subscriptions right and left. So I didn't switch because everyone else was switching. I switched because I decided to actually test these tools and see how how good is people's claim. I tested writing, I tested research, I tested code review, I tested brainstorming, I tested debugging, and complex tasks. And the results were not even close. Claude was significantly better, at least for me, for the kind of work I do as a developer and content creator, right? The writing felt more natural, the research was more thorough, the thinking felt more layered. When I gave Claude a complex problem, it didn't give me an answer, it walked me through its reasoning in a way that actually made sense to me. So that was enough for me to actually take it serious. So I started using the free version of Claude and it was already good. But then I discovered something that made me pull out my credit card and subscribe immediately. So this is the Cloud Co-work feature on Cloud Pro subscription. And what I really like about it is that you can actually tell Claude to perform something on your desktop and it's going to go ahead and do it. You can tell it, hey, create a folder on my desktop called YouTube. And every day I need you to research trends on tech industries and then give me 3 content ideas every day for shorts, and it's going to go ahead and do that for you. Not only that, it's going to write the scripts for you and also get you images you can use in your videos. So that's what I really like about Cloud Co-work. And this is not just a gimmick, it's actually a productivity shift because of the times it saves me when it comes to getting ideas, researching, scripting, and writing content in itself. Let me be specific about what I actually think Claude does better, because I'm not just going to sit here and tell you Claude is good, ChatGPT is bad, etc. That's not useful at all to you. Writing, this is the biggest one for me. I script videos, I write, build in public, I write technical breakdowns. When I use Claude for writing, the output sounds like a human thought about it. Unlike ChatGPT, it feels generic. I spend more time editing and removing the AI voice so that it doesn't sound like an AI, right? Cloud's writing is cleaner, more natural, and needs less post processing. Deep research and reasoning. When I give Cloud a complex multi-step problem like analyze my YouTube analytics and tell me why my best video performed the way it did and how to replicate it, it goes deep. It makes connections. It gives a structured answer I can actually act on. Long context tags, Cloud handles longer documents and longer conversations without losing the thread. ChatGPT tends to start forgetting context in very long sessions. Claude hand holds together for much better. Coding tasks is a nuance, not just writing code, but understanding what I'm trying to build, catching edge cases I didn't think about, and explaining why something should be done a certain way. These are the areas where, for my workflow, Cloud consistently outperforms ChatGPT. But don't get me wrong, I still use ChatGPT regularly, and here is why. ChatGPT has years of context on me, years of conversations where I have been honest about my struggles, my goals, my thought process, my businesses, etc. That kind of history builds something that a new tool cannot just overtake it overnight. It doesn't happen just like that. So when I need to think out loud, when I need help gaining clarity or making a tough decision, when I need someone to help me brainstorm without it having to be perfect or having me give a lot of context, I go to ChatGPT. It knows me better. It knows how I think. It gives me advice that feels personalized to me because of our long history. It's also very good at quick tasks, fast code snippets, a quick email, a simple explanation of something I have remembered from school. For this thing, it's more than enough. Think of it like this. ChatGPT is like that friend you have known for years. They know your backstory, they get your references, they give you the real talk. While Claude is the incredibly sharp new colleague you just met at school. It brings a completely different level of depth and capability to the table. You don't have to choose one friend, you can have both of them. So, in practice, here is how my workflow actually looks. Claude for heavy works like this, and ChatGPT for personal and quick works like this. The split didn't happen overnight. It took a few weeks of naturally gravitating toward one or the other for different tasks, and now it feels completely intuitive. I'm not switching between them randomly. I'm using each one for what is actually best at. So now here's the part I want you to take seriously, because that's the actual point of this video. Do not blindly follow the hype. Just because everyone online is saying switch to Claude, delete ChatGPT, doesn't mean that that's the right move for you. The kind of all or nothing thinking is what gets people constantly chasing new shiny tools and not actually building anything meaningful. Every person online who posts I switched to Claude and it changed my life has a different workflow, different goals, different context. Their experience is real, but it is theirs, not yours. What I did was test both of the tools specifically for what I do, which is mostly coding and writing content. In those cases, I made the right decision by trying to keep using both of them for different workflows, or for different goals. If you use AI mostly for coding, test both for coding tasks. If you use it mostly for writing, then test both for writing tasks. If you use it for a bit of everything, maybe like me, you will end up using both. The goal is not to pick a side. The goal is to build, create things, solve problems, and use whatever tools you have to your advantage. For me right now, that means Claude for heavy work and ChatGPT for personal clarity. That ratio might shift as both tools evolve, and that's fine. So that's just my honest take, no sponsorship, no affiliation, just a developer who tested both tools and told you what he found. If you found this useful, drop a comment below. Let me know which AI you are currently using and what you use it for. I'm genuinely curious whether your experience matches mine. So if you're a developer who wants to follow my build in public journey, I am building code to content in public, which is a tool that turns your GitHub project into content. Links are in the description below. So if you want more of this kind of honest, no hype content where I share real stuff about me and what I'm building and tools I have tested, then make sure to subscribe and follow for more. Make sure to subscribe and like this video so that YouTube will keep recommending these videos to you. I'll see you in the next one.